this computer, and here we go. All right, welcome Meeks parents to our informational session about our school site council. Even though we are a new virtual academy and we don't have too many in-person or any in-person events yet, they will come, we still are going to do the majority, if not all, of the regular things that a traditional school would do, such as a school site council. So as a basic understanding of what is a school site council, we'll start this presentation by talking about that. Then we'll go over what will our meetings look like and how often and where and all that good stuff. We'll talk about the concept of terms, like how long is a commitment, and then we'll talk about some just general other things. So what is a school site council, right? First of all, a school site council is an elected body. So you do have to get elected to be on this, composed of the school leader or principal, myself, teachers, other school staff, parents, and at the secondary level, students, okay? Because we are TK through 8 at this point, we won't have students, but we will most definitely need parents, okay? So that is the elected body now. What do they do? Okay, well, they have some responsibilities, okay? First and foremost, their responsibility is to work as a team. They review and revise something called the SIPSA, okay? But essentially it's a document that every single school has, and it talks about how the funds are going to be spent. So a school site council is a very important group that makes big decisions, okay? The school site council will make sure that we write goals. We'll make sure that we say, hey, if these are our goals, then this is the amount of money that we have, and this is the amount of money we're going to spend on each goal. We have to monitor whether we're meeting those goals. And then lastly, we just make sure that you and us, the members, are attending the school site council, as well as making sure in future years we're all working together to conduct the election, okay? And we'll talk about elections in a second. I do want to clarify one thing on the funds. So the school site council is only monitoring supplemental expenditures. So there are some things that obviously school site council can't make decisions on, whether a teacher gets a raise, but they can make decisions like, hey, we realize our students with English language learning needs need a little extra support. We'll look at data together. So therefore, we're going to write a goal that is going to ensure the English language learners get an extra reading program. I'm making that out on the top of my head. But the point is, I don't want the school site council members to think they have control of the full budget. There are some things out of our control, but supplemental funds to help targeted groups is definitely purview of the school site council. So meetings, when are they? Well, number one, it's one time a month, okay? One meeting per month minimum. Now, once in a blue moon, there might be an emergency need for, hey, we have to approve this after all, otherwise it's not going to go through. But for the most part, it's once a month. That's the standard school site council meeting amount. When will they happen? Well, usually they happen at the end of the day or early evening. I've started school site councils as late as 5 p.m. to accommodate people. If we absolutely need to do one a little later, we can. They are public meetings. They're open to the public. So not just, if you get elected, not just you can attend, other people can as well. Now, we do want our meetings actually in person, okay? Because of the pandemic, the state allowed school site councils to meet virtually with a couple of conditions. So we will still offer it to be viewed virtually, but in the future, this is just an info session, but the official school site council, we would ask for our families to meet in person for these. Now, obviously emergencies, we'd still allow virtual, but there are some rules and regulations about voting that we'd have to make sure we're following to make sure, we are following the rules correctly, okay? Terms, well, how long am I on a school site council? Well, there's a couple of things to know about this. Number one, the first year, we don't officially have our bylaws set. So we have to actually agree on rules and regulations. We're going to learn together, and then we'll make those terms together as well. And of course, during the first year, because it's a brand new school, we have to make our SIPSA goals like from scratch. We're not like, oh, let's look at last year's data. Now, our goals will look similar to some of the district-wide initiatives. Of course, we want alignment, but we're starting from scratch, right? We're a brand new school. So we're going to learn a lot together this first year about how schools run, how to create a SIPSA. So it's definitely an awesome opportunity for all grade level, like, whatever grade level your child is in, but especially if your child is younger, I think this is a perfect opportunity for you to truly learn what does it take to run a school behind the scenes. Okay, the school site council has a lot of decision-making power, and so we will learn a lot about the different regulations that it takes to make sound decisions for our children's education. Okay, so we're at that part. It's a very quick presentation, but before we get to other questions, I just want to talk about one last thing, and then we'll jump into questions, which is our elections, right? Like, how do if you're really interested, you want to be part of this group that makes big time decisions for the schools, how can I get, how can I become a candidate to run for school site council? Well, we are going to share, starting later today, an interest form. And essentially, it's a form that says, I'm a parent of this student at Meeks Academy. I would like my name on the ballot for school site council. You will have a week to make up your mind if you want to run. Then after that, I'll collect all the names, create a ballot, and I'll mail those out. The school will mail them out by 9/14. We ask that it gives a little bit more than a week, almost 10 days. The ballots come back, okay? And then we should be able to announce the winners or, the elected school site members by the 23rd of September, give or take, okay? So again, I want to clarify with parents, this is not just with parents. Staff members also get elected. The only one that's not elected is yours truly, because I was elected when I was hired, right? So I will be running the school site councils, but it is a team group membership, meaning there may or may not be times where Dr. Perez has an idea that the team doesn't want to go with. That's okay. The point is we're going to work as a team to figure out how to make that Larry G. Meeks Academy school site council, right? So let's go ahead and stop. But I just want to say real quick before I take questions, thank you for watching this presentation. For those of you that are watching it afterwards, I am going to stop the recording though, because I don't want people to feel uncomfortable to ask questions and be recorded. So at this moment, I am going to stop recording. Thank you for watching.